So our next episode is all about drinks with caffeine in them.
Ready, Vince?
We're going to do an Irish coffee and a concoction that Eddie came up with by himself.
Let's go, come on.
Stay tuned.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eddie from Average Joe Drinks.
And I'm Vince, and we're here to make drinks suitable for the average Joe. Just like my dad intended when he spent decades accumulating about 11,000 drink recipes. We're here to share them with you.
Yeah, since we are Average Joes, we figure we're going to try a couple of them, and we're bringing you the ones that we think taste the best. So sit back, enjoy, please try this at home.
So today, actually, now that we've said that, we're going to contradict ourselves. Today we've got two drinks we're going to bring you, one of which Eddie just made up. Just nothing to do with anything traditional. But I'm going to do something traditional. I'm going to do an old school Irish coffee. Very cool drink. Got a little bit of a twist on it, but we'll cover that when we get to it.
So Kim came home and she asked me to make a cocktail for her, and she wanted coffee in there. So this is what I came up with. I looked in her pantry, which, because of the show Average Joe Drinks, is kind of
pretty packed.
Yeah, it's packed, which is a good thing because you have lots of options. So I chose a lot of ingredients here, but all together I think it tastes pretty good, so I'm going to make it for you. So right here I have 3 ounces per drink, always making 2 drinks.
Why?
Why? Because we want friends.
And we're desperate for them, so we're going to bribe them with coffee drinks.
Bribe them with alcohol and coffee, which 2 are my favorite things. So 6 ounces of iced coffee here. Yes, I've already pre-measured this. 1 ounce of whipped cream vodka and 3 ounces of crème de menthe because we're making 2 drinks. And we're getting pretty full there, but I think we can still do it. 2 ounces of crème de cacao. Horse spouts kind of sound cool. We are pretty full there. I'm going to add the cream afterwards. So we're going to take this and we're going to shake this.
These are great mixers, but when you get one, if you get one, practice over a sink first. Because you do need to practice these a little.
So I'm going to put 2 ounces of half and half. And since I got a little crazy with how much drink I had in there, I'm just going to stir this up. That'll be fun.
James wanted to have a fit, because now it's been shaken and stirred.
That's right. He's not here, it's okay.
Good, because he can kick your butt.
He could. So we're going to fill both of these up. And most sugary coffee drinks require whipped cream.
Yes.
This is no different.
It turns out that Irish coffee is the source of that tradition.
Really?
We'll get to that.
Coming soon.
Like
in 2 minutes,
a few minutes,
maybe?
yeah.
So I like to shave just a little chocolate over that. You don't have to do this, I just think it makes it a little nicer. Little microplane works really nice. Put a couple of espresso beans in there.
You should eat a couple too while you're at it.
I'm gonna eat a couple more. And there you go, there's Average Joe Drinks Peppermint Mocha. Cheers.
So when you came up with this, did you start with an existing cocktail in mind, or you just kind of winged it?
Just winged it. Had coffee.
Wow, that's good. What was Kim's reaction when you gave it to her?
She smiled, so that was good. But I gave her alcohol and she was sitting on the couch by the fire, so maybe hard to judge.
It's hard not to smile
Yeah.
under those circumstances, I guess.
One thing you could do is add just a little bit of crème de menthe on top. Again, giving you that nose, that smell when it first hits your face, if you will. So that's definitely an option.
Yeah, garnishes are good. I mean, we talked about that too. This is a nice drink, though. I like it.
Have we talked about these glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Enjoy.
Sorry, it's my turn.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I'm going back in time to the Irish coffee. Whole history behind that. Believe it or not, it's served in a wine glass. There's a reason for that. The Irish coffee drink was created out of a sense of necessity. Back in the days of the flying boats couldn't make it all the way across the Atlantic without stopping to refuel. The limit of their distance was Newfoundland to Ireland. The Irish coast, outside of a town called Limerick. You ever hear of a Limerick?
I have heard of Limerick.
You can, they're pretty cool.
I can try that. It wouldn't work.
So there was an airport there, which was a refueling spot, and the weather at this particular airport was so bad that they actually built a hotel and a restaurant at the airport because it was very common that these planes would come in, they would refuel, and they couldn't leave.
They just expected they were to get stuck there, yeah.
And they got stuck all the time. One day, a flight left. It was on its way to Newfoundland, headed for New York. The weather was really bad. They decided to try it anyway. After about 45 minutes, it was so bad they turned around. These flying boats didn't fly very high. They couldn't get above the weather. And they radioed ahead and said, we've got a plane full of VIPs and they're all really cranky.
Ticked off, yeah.
So, just to try to perk them up, the bartender in there looked around, decided what he was going to do was add some alcohol to his coffee. He had some fresh coffee. He didn't have enough coffee cups to go around that were clean. They had the whole boat coming back. So he mixed them up in a wine glass. All of this is part of the tradition. Okay, so we're going to jump around a little bit on this. In order to serve it the way it's traditionally done, it's served in a wine glass. Wine glasses usually are thin, right? You dump hot coffee in this, it's going to break. So one of the things
Should we
that
try
you got to do... Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Another video, 30-second video.
30-second video. That's how you destroy your stuff.
Yeah.
So the first thing is to make sure that you warm them up. They were warming them up with hot water. We're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so what I've done is I've warmed the wine glasses up under boiling hot water. You fill them up, you let it sit there. This is a drink that traditionally is not served in a coffee cup. I have also kind of, in order to save time, I've measured out some Irish whiskey, some brown sugar in here. It's going to be about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar per drink, 3 tablespoons of Irish whiskey per drink. So we've got a mixture of brown sugar, whiskey. We're going to add 3/4 of a cup of coffee. And what you're going for is another really famous Irish drink known as Guinness Stout. Okay, so I'm going to mix these back and forth in here simply because this is not really a cocktail shaker kind of drink. But what you're going for is to dissolve the sugar, make sure that everything's really well mixed together. And part of it is because if you don't, what you're going to find out is that your cream is going to sink down into the drink. Now in this country, one of the things that we have that they didn't have available to them back in the 1940s when they were doing flying boats and everything, is we have whipped cream out of a can. We're going to use that. And that sits on top of a drink very well. But if you want to do it the traditional way and mix up your own cream, it'll sink. Unless you have the right amount of sugar in there. So
Interesting.
The sugar is what makes the thing thick enough to hold the cream on top of it. The other part of the story, which is kind of entertaining, is that these people came back, their plane was delayed, the drink worked, made everybody happy.
Yeah.
A couple of people were saying, well, this is great, what is that, Brazilian coffee? How'd you make this? And just as the guy said, no, it's not Brazilian, this is Irish coffee.
Naturally.
That's what he said, name stuck, there it is, history was made. So that was in the mid-40s. The drink became so popular that people would actually go to the airport, locals would go to the airport to order it. Over the years, word got around. There was a guy in San Francisco who heard of it. He decided he was going to try to recreate it, and he couldn't get the cream to float on the top. So he actually made it a point to go all the way to Ireland to try to find out how this thing was made in the first place. Turns out by then the flying boat had been replaced by piston-driven aircraft that could make the trip.
Right.
Airport was gone, bartender was gone. This guy spent 6 years trying to figure out how to find the bartender who came up with it. He did.
That is dedication right there.
Not only did he find out, when he went back to San Francisco, before he went back to San Francisco, he found an Irish distiller who now makes Irish whiskey specifically for this bar's Irish coffee. And the bar's still there in San Francisco, making a very unique Irish coffee.
Now, you said you found a distillery in San Francisco, or someone that had
Ireland. It's Irish whiskey that's made specifically for his bar.
Gotcha, because that's one of the distinctions when you talk about bourbon and different kinds of whiskeys. Irish whiskey has to be made in Ireland. So I'm just curious, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a difference in flavor. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty mellow, actually. I was impressed.
So this is actually not a very well-known brand, but it's very tasty. I know we've been trying to stay away from too many brand names and stuff, but this is a little bit less expensive, and it's a really good Irish whiskey.
Well, that goes to show you that you don't necessarily have to spend a tremendous amount of money to get a good product. And another thing, sorry Vince, but another thing is that, Vince was it Total Wine? Let's say that, that's fine. He was in there and he asked the person and talked to them. And when you talk to those people, when you go into the Bevmos, the Total Wines, those kind of specialty alcohol stores, talk to those people. They know what they're talking about. Sometimes they may not, but You know, I was talking to someone about bourbon for 20 minutes, so it's definitely something that's worth doing.
Yeah, it was fun talking. The girl I met had a lot to say, and I learned a lot from her too. So back to the drink. You're not supposed to mix it. You're supposed to drink your coffee through the cream, if you can. Again, if you were using homemade cream, the look you're going for is a Guinness Stout. So you'd have basically the brown underneath, the head on the top.
On there, yeah. It's starting to form, but yeah, it's obviously not the same. So you got the regular cream.
No garnishes. This was a last minute thing that just tasted so good it caught on. So here's a traditional Irish coffee, very easy. Irish whiskey, brown sugar, coffee.
Cheers.
Now you like the whiskeys.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of mild. I don't know if it's because of the Irish whiskey, but you expect whiskey and coffee, you're gonna get punched in the face, but it's actually really good. It's nice and mellow.
Yeah, this is...
I like that.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, but now I actually can say that I do. Yeah, that's a good drink.
Yeah, it's inevitable. It's going to mix up, but... So there it is. Variations you can make. One of the things that we thought would be a really neat idea, we did a video on hot buttered rum. Hot buttered rum batter, which is a mixture of brown sugar, vanilla, butter, and a few other spices, makes for a really good Irish coffee.
Yes, it does.
And on our webpage, Average Joe Drinks, I've got a bunch of different recipes for Irish coffee, so we'll post all of those as we go along. You guys can see what the different variations are. You know, most people think of Irish whiskey as just something you add to a cup of coffee and call it Irish coffee and you're done, and so now you know better.
That's right.
So there it is. We hope that you were entertained. We hope you liked it. If you did, if you do us a favor and hit the like button on the lower right corner of your screen. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, put them in the comments section below. And if you want further tips, tricks, additional drink recipes, we've got a lot more coming. Please go ahead and hit the big red subscribe button.
Yeah, and we want you to please drink responsibly. Go ahead and look for us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we hope you enjoyed. Please look forward to some more episodes coming up soon, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.